Hello, remember to thyself be true. In this video, I'm going through my overview for the month of July 2024 on how my spending went. So, in terms of income, the only thing that increased here is that I got a refund from the medical aid for an amount of 158.50. So the total income for the month was 23,558.62 plus 4 rand 28 plus 171.10 plus 309.20 plus 158.50. So my total income for the month was 24,201 rand 70. 24201.7. And then for my fixed expense, I just have DSTV for 139, and that's the only thing that I paid for. So my total remaining after deducting my fixed expense is an amount of 24,062 rand 70. And then this is the amount, the balance remaining from deducting my income from my fixed expenses. And then when it comes to my variable expenses, this is how it went. Giving, I budgeted 200. I actually spent 2,950 rand. Electricity, I paid 300 rand. Household, I actually spent 2,022 rand 5 cents. Uber, I actually spent 251 rand. Taxi, I spent 50 rand for the month. Train, I spent an amount of 1,500 rand. Groceries, I spent an amount of 3,043 rand 79 cents. Meat, I spent 844 rand 40 cents. Restaurants, takeaway, I didn't spend anything. Time bank fees 6 rand. Standard Bank fees 8 rand 20. Capitec Bank fees 8 rand 50 cents. And then another additional thing that I spent in terms of my variable expenses had to be toll gate fees, because I went home for this month. I didn't budget for it. I spent 57 rand. So my total actual for variable expense amounts to 2,950 plus 300 rand plus 2,022 rand 5 cents plus 251 rand plus 50 rand plus 1,500 rand plus 3,043 rand 79 plus 844 rand 40 plus 6 rand plus 8 rand 20 cents plus 8 rand 50 cents plus 57 rand. So total variable expenses amounted to 11,040 rand 94 cents, which is more than what I budgeted for. So the balance remaining from the fixed expense was 24,062.7, less the variable expense of 11,040.94. The balance that's remaining is 13,021 rand 76 cents. And then I do not have any debt payment. So for debt, I do not have any debt to pay. So I'm going to scratch this out. Moving on to my savings for the month. Emergency fund, I saved 5,013 rand 74 cents. 52 weeks challenge, 1,300 rand 100 rand, 3,250, 1,200 100 200. And then I had a Live Better round up of 3 rand. And then I also rounded up my Black Friday for 9 rand 35. So my total saved for the month is 5013.74 plus 1.3 plus 100 plus 3,000 plus 250 plus 1,000 rand plus 200 plus 100 plus 200 plus 3 plus 9 rand 35. So I saved an amount of 11,176 rand 9 cents. So from the variable expense balance remaining of 13,021.76 to that, if I deduct my savings, the balance remaining is 1,845 rand 67 cents. And then in terms of investments, retirement fund 500, easy equity 600. So I invested what I budgeted for. So from this amount, if I deduct my investment, I'm left with 745 rand 67. And then moving on to my personal or fun expenses. Medical for the month, I only paid 30 rand 37. Books, I only paid 385. Personal care, nothing. Salon, I paid 300 rand. And then there weren't any discount purchase that I planned on doing. So my total personal expense amounted to 30 rand 37 plus 385 plus 300 rand 715 rand 37. So if we take the balance remaining from my investment, which was 745 rand 67, and deduct to that the personal expense of 715.37, the balance remaining becomes 30 rand 30. When it comes to my summary, my total income for the month was actually 24,043 rand 20 cents. My total saved was 11,176 rand 9 cent. There weren't any debt. Total investment 11,000, and my total expenses amounted to 139 plus 11,040 rand 94 plus 715.37. So my total expenses for the month is 11,895 rand 31. I made a mistake. So my income is 24,201 rand 70. So my summary leftover is 24,201 rand 70 less 11,895.31 less 11,176.09 less 1,100. So my leftover is 30 rand 30 cents. In my notes here, underspent, overspent, underspent, I'm gonna highlight in blue. Overspent, I'm gonna highlight in orange. So in my budget, I overspent on my variable expenses, and I also oversaved, which is a good thing. And then I only underspent on my personal expenses. When it comes to my monthly overview, my total income for the month is 24,201 rand 70. Total expenses is 11,895 rand 31 cents. Total saved is 11,176 rand 09 cents. I don't have any debt. Total investment is 1,100. So my balance remaining is 24,201 rand 70 less 11,895 rand 31 cents less 11,176 rand 9 cent less 1,100. My balance remaining that I'm carrying over to August is 30 Rand 30 cents. So budget categories, we've been filling them in throughout my weekly overview. So I've already filled them in, and we will just fill in the wheel and the percentage of my income that I actually spent, and see the representation from the circle. When it comes to savings, it's 11,176 Rand 9 cents divided by my income of 24,201 Rand 70. So my total percent in savings, I saved 46%. And then I invested an amount of 5%. And then food, I spent an amount of 388.19 cents. Food, I spent an amount of 16%. And then transport, I spent an amount of 8%. Household, I spent an amount of 10%. Giving, I spent an amount of 12%. Personal, I spent an amount of 3%. And then bank fees, I spent an amount of 0.09. In terms of representation, each section is 5%. Giving, personal, miscellaneous, I'm gonna highlight in green, and they amount to 15% roughly. So it's this up to here. So this is giving. And then we've got 10% for household. 10% for household ends here. So this is 10% for household. And then we've got 8% of transport. Transport, 8%. So it's about, we can end it here, round about there. This is all transport. 16% of food. So 10 plus a bit of 2 here. This is food. We have an amount of almost half that goes to savings and investment, which is a good thing. So savings and investment, we've got 51%. There we go. So majority of my money goes to savings and investments, which is a good thing. In terms of the review, what I accomplished this month is that I was able to save more and round up both my savings and investment. Unexpected expense is catering for Mama's event, outsourcing, because I just could not do the cooking for everybody. It was an unplanned event and I did not have time, and I also did not budget for that event. So I spent most of my money giving away. I overspent on food this month. I need to cut down on food. Mistakes is that I took interest of 380 from my emergency fund that I earned from my bank to supplement my catering giving to my mom. I'm not going to do that again, tapping into the interest that I'm earning from the bank. Money lessons learned this month is that I really need to analyze whether I need to spend on things that I did not budget for before going ahead and using the money. And what I'm going to improve on next month is that I'm going to put all my upcoming events on the budget with regards to their financial implications. Until next time, remember, to thyself be true, and to thy finances be true.